Today I thought I would just take a couple minutes and make a quick video on how I set up a business budget. It's important to know your numbers. Your business expenses are no exception. I have a personal budget that I track all my personal spending, and I also have a separate business budget for each of my businesses because I want to keep the banking separate and I want to know if the business is doing well or not. Easiest way that I have found to do that is through Mint. So you go to mint.com and I'll leave a link down below. It's free. There's no charge for Mint. Some people like Personal Capital. I've been using Mint for so many years that I'm so familiar with it. I've tried other budgeting software. I tried You Need a Budget, YNAB, and I tried the Dave Ramsey Every Dollar plan. I think part of my problem with them was I was so used to Mint. It takes a little bit of time to sync all your bank accounts and put all your assets in and categorize all your transactions. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it all syncs seamlessly because it doesn't. When you have transactions, it's going to put them in categories that it thinks are appropriate, which may not be the categories that you wish to assign to different transactions. So there is a way to shortcut that. You can set up rules. Whenever you have repeating transactions, after the first few months, after you've set up rules, it becomes more intuitive and it will realize what things should be categorized. And so the time that you spend categorizing transactions becomes much smaller. But starting with a brand new budgeting software program, I found it was overwhelming. And because I had already done it with Mint for I've been using Mint for 15 years, a while. I mean, I think it has 12 years of data on me. So I've been using it for a while and I'm very used to it. So what you do is you go to mint.com and then you click on sign up, and it'll ask you for an email address and a phone number. You don't have to put the phone number in there, but it will want an email address. It'll ask you to verify the links. That's pretty normal. So you'll go to your email and you'll click on the link. It may want to send you a text message, so you say yes to the text message. And then you sign in. And then it'll bring you to a dashboard that shows an overview, transactions, goals, credit scores. It's not going to know that automatically unless you enter your social security number. I don't for my business accounts because I don't need the credit score on the business accounts. I do have it on my personal budget that I use. And the only way that I separate them is with the email address. I just use a different email address for each of the budgets that I want to run. So I have one for my eBay business, I have another one for my dog walking business, and I have a personal one. And then it'll ask you to start setting up accounts. So whatever account you use for your business, you'll go ahead and enter that information, and then it'll ask if you want to do another one. So if you have a checking and a savings and a credit card for your business, that's where you enter it. If you have assets for your business, if you have a company car or if you have computer equipment or a phone, you can add those as assets if you want to track them. If you don't want to track them, you don't have to. And then you can, when you're done setting up all the accounts, you'll click on budget. Now, when you enter your banking account, it's going to transfer over all of your transactions. I started with whatever month I'm in. I wouldn't go back. Like if it transfers over 3 months of banking information, I'm not going to go back 3 months and enter all those transactions. You can if you want to, but I like to just start fresh from wherever I am because it saves on time. I use this for tax purposes. I use QuickBooks Self-Employment for my tax tracking. This is just for analytics for me to make sure that my business is making a profit, that I'm not overspending, that my cash flow is good. Because the cash flow can get away from you, especially if you have more than one income source. If you have multiple streams of income and you're pooling them all into your main checking account, you might not realize that you're spending, 20 hours a week on a side hustle that's losing you money. But if you have a separate business budget set up and different bank accounts set up for that side hustle, you'll know which side hustles are worth your time and which ones aren't. And I've tried a lot of different projects and side hustles. I'm going to share more of those as time goes on with the channel. Some of these things work, some of them don't. Some of them, they're not going to work right away, like the YouTube channels. They don't make money for a while. I'm not anywhere close to monetizing on my channels at the time of this filming. And so my YouTube channels aren't making money, but I know that going in, I know that they take several months and they may never make money. I mean, it's more of a gamble. But things that you're doing, like if you're doing an eBay business, you don't want to gamble with that. If you're spending more than you're selling, that's a problem and you need to stop. If you have a service business, if you're doing snow plowing or lawn care, and you're spending more on your lawnmowers and your gasoline than you're taking in from cutting the grass, that's a problem too. So, it's good to have a budget where you can track all your expenses and keep track of all the assets that your business has and just keep a laser focus on your numbers. And that's why I like this. So then once you pull up to the budget, it'll ask you for income. And this is going to be the business's income. It's not going to be all of your income. It's just going to be the income for this stream of income. And then it'll have other categories, and you can set them to be whatever you want. So if, like on my personal one, it's got mortgage and rent. Well, my business doesn't pay the mortgage or the rent, so I don't have a home category on my business accounts. You may not have food and dining on those accounts, but you would on your personal accounts. Basically, the way that I like to do it whenever I'm starting a new business, I like to set up the budget and to sync it for a full month before I set the budget. And the reason I do that, not because I want to spend like crazy, but I want to know what my realistic average expenses are going to be. And after the first month, you won't have a full idea because there are some things that you're going to buy once a year or once every 3 months. But your normal day-to-day things that come up, they're going to hit and you're going to see what those are. You've probably already been working with those. You have a rough idea in your head, but this will tally everything. So if you have subscriptions for cloud software, or if you're using Canva a lot to make thumbnails, or there's all kinds of software and electronics that can add up, $2 here, $10 there, $15 a month. When you have a budget and it tracks it and you pay for it out of your business account, it tracks all of that. And you can get a really good idea of what you're really spending. You don't want to be bleeding out. You don't want to have a leak in the budget. And having a business budget that's separate from your regular budget helps you see that. So this is why I recommend this. Mint is free. And so, I can't think of an easier way to keep your money straight. So I thought I'd share. So I hope this helps you. I would love to hear what you're doing to keep track of your money on your business. If you use a different software program that you think is easier than Mint, drop a comment below. If you have had problems with Mint, I'd like to hear those too. I will drop a link to Mint. It's free. There's no referral or anything like that. But if you have other ideas or other tips that might help make the process easier, I would love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button and consider subscribing. I appreciate the time that it took for you to listen to this if you stayed this long. So have a great day.